How long have you been away from this style of life?
It's been a couple years now.
Good for you.
Thank you.
For you.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be looking at the most notable celebrities who seemingly lost everything and were at an all-time low, but managed to crawl their way back to the top.
At this stage of my life, I am how I am, and I'm saved by it, and I have no stress, and I'm wonderful.
Kate Moss. British model Kate Moss rose to prominence in the 1990s for her anti-supermodel image. By the early 2000s, she was a renowned figure in the fashion industry, raking in millions of dollars every year.
People really look up to what she's wearing and look to her, as an icon.
Kate Moss, I think, always looks good.
Everyone wants to look like Kate Moss.
However, her career faced a serious threat in 2005 when the Daily Mirror published front-page pictures of Moss using illicit drugs. This scandal led to the loss of several lucrative contracts, including a £4 million deal with Swedish fashion label H&M.
She got caught doing what a good part of the business does.
We feel that she was a little bit betrayed by someone that she had trusted.
She was even investigated by the London Met Police. Following a public apology in which she took full responsibility for her actions and pledged to address them, Moss gradually regained public favor.
Even if she did things in her life that weren't necessarily accepted, people are always willing to give you a second chance. The bottom line is she's a fantastic model and she sells clothes. Women respond to Kate.
In 2006, she made a resounding comeback, earning an estimated £11 million that year. Martha Stewart. If there was ever a blueprint for how to rebound from a devastating scandal, it would be Martha Stewart.
Casey is credited with helping pioneer the cultivation of organic ginger throughout the Northeast, and I'm so happy to have you here today.
The business mogul built a media empire through her lifestyle brand, publishing several best-selling books and hosting her own TV show. But that empire collapsed when Stewart was charged with insider trading and convicted of multiple felonies, including making false statements to federal investigators.
After her prison term, Martha will have to wear an ankle monitor and remain under house arrest at her 150-acre estate in Bedford, New York.
After spending 5 months in prison, many believed her career was over. Boy, were they all wrong. Upon her release in 2005, Stewart embarked on a grueling comeback campaign, making her company profitable again.
Did you learn anything about yourself during that time? Did you learn that you're tougher than you thought you were?
No, I'm a tough person from start. I've always been a tough person. Tough meaning I can survive. I'm a survivor.
She's since launched more successful businesses and TV shows, and her estimated net worth sits somewhere around $400 million. Natasha Lyonne. Today, many people recognize Natasha Lyonne for her role as Nikki Nichols in the prison comedy drama Orange is the New Black.
Look at you, Blondie. What'd you do?
Aren't you not supposed to ask that question? I read that you're not supposed to ask that.
You read that? What, you studied for prison?
If you thought her portrayal was very realistic, that's probably because Lyonne shares many similarities with the character. Like Nikki, Lyonne grappled with substance use disorder, which led to legal troubles and even eviction from her home.
Once you get very dark, time speeds up, because your body simply can't maintain, really.
This came at a time when Lyonne was on the rise in Hollywood, putting her career at serious risk. Fortunately, she got into rehab and managed to overcome these issues. Orange is the New Black served not only as a comeback, but also as a springboard for her other successful shows, Russian Doll and Poker Face, both of which earned her Emmy nominations.
You know what? I'm doing fine. I like my life. I like my job.
Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong had no acting experience when he was cast as John Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
You're not here to kill me. I figured that part out for myself. So what's the deal?
My mission is to protect you.
The role catapulted him to fame, making him a staple in 1990s films. However, at the turn of the new millennium, Furlong gradually disappeared from the mainstream and began engaging in substance use. This issue severely hindered his career and prevented him from reprising his role on Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
You're John Connor. I'm Kate Brewster.
Additionally, Furlong got involved in a domestic violence case with his girlfriend, leading to at least 4 arrests for assault. In 2013, the actor was mandated to seek rehabilitation, which ultimately helped him achieve sobriety.
I realized that I was I was being toxic. I was a toxic person to be around.
He has since maintained a clean slate and is slowly returning to the big screen. Brendan Fraser. In the 1990s, Brendan Fraser became a household name with roles in a string of successful films, particularly George of the Jungle and The Mummy.
We are in very serious trouble.
By all indications, he seemed destined for a thriving career in the 21st century, but several challenges derailed this trajectory. Fraser faced a bitter divorce, the loss of his mother, and came forward with sexual assault allegations against a Hollywood executive, which threatened his career.
I did step out of the spotlight for a spell there to sort some things out in my life, to take stock of who I am, where I'm going, and what my aspirations are.
All of these plunged him into a deep depression. Emerging from such a difficult period certainly wasn't easy, but Fraser managed to make a triumphant return with 2022's The Whale.
Does her mom know about this?
I just wanted to see her. Mary has kept her from me all this time.
Why do you suddenly need to see her so bad? Why now?
Liz.
The role brought him back into the Hollywood mainstream and earned him his first Academy Award nomination and win. Mickey Rourke. There was a time when actor Mickey Rourke was a highly sought-after leading man in Hollywood, known for his good looks and gritty charm.
What do you do?
I buy and I sell money. Some people call it arbitrage.
In the early 1990s, Rourke left acting and returned to boxing, a sport he had once pursued as an amateur. This career resulted in severe facial injuries, which required extensive reconstructive surgery that left him nearly unrecognizable.
Your face had been pretty badly mangled.
Well, you know, I had 5 nose operations, it broke my cheekbone, I had 2 concussions, broke my hand. My hands will never be the same, probably.
Upon returning to acting, he struggled to find substantial roles and considered himself a has-been. Rourke's big Hollywood comeback began with his acclaimed role as Marv in 2005's Sin City.
It took somebody who was kind to me, getting killed to do it, but I'm out. I know exactly what I gotta do.
This resurgence was cemented 3 years later with The Wrestler, earning him an Oscar nomination for his portrayal of a character whose redemption journey mirrored his own. Tina Turner. For many years, Tina Turner was defined by her partnership, both musical and romantic, with Ike Turner.
New York is very good. I like to work there. That's one of my favorite cities.
The two began performing as a duo in 1960, the same year the romantic relationship also started. Sadly, Turner endured severe domestic violence from Ike, which once led her to attempt ending her life. After finally escaping from him, she spent years performing in small clubs to pay off her debts.
I was prepared to go through whatever I had to go through with Ike Turner, even if it was death, because I would never go back.
During this period, she was considered a nostalgia act. Given the opportunity to record an album in just 2 weeks, Turner churned out Private Dancer. This multi-platinum album produced the chart topper, What's Love Got to Do With It?
What's love but a sweet old-fashioned notion? What's love got to do with it?
Against all odds, Turner reclaimed the spotlight, driven solely by her own resilience and undeniable talent. Richard Pryor. Regarded by many as the greatest stand-up comic of all time, Richard Pryor was an exceptional comedic powerhouse.
When I was drinking, though, it was fine. I had to stop drinking, though, because I got tired, like, waking up in my car driving 90.
But while his career soared, he sunk deeper and deeper into illicit drug use. This issue got so bad that he once reportedly doused himself with rum and lit himself on fire, resulting in severe 2nd and 3rd degree burns that landed him in the hospital for 6 weeks.
You must have heard from thousands and thousands of letters and telegrams.
A lot of people.
People you didn't even know probably that knew you.
Yeah, sent me letters and Bibles and everything, and I appreciate it. I really thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
This easily could have been the end of his career, but nothing could keep Richard Pryor away from the stage. It didn't take long for him to get back on his feet and resume performing.
I have milk and cookies. And one night, I had some low-fat milk and some pasteurized, and I mixed them together, and I dipped my cookie in, the shit blew up.
Just 3 years later, Pryor signed a 5-year contract with Columbia Pictures worth $40 million. Britney Spears. The mid to late 2000s were a tumultuous period for pop star Britney Spears, whose public breakdown became international news.
Sadly, her breakdown played out in front of the world.
Following her separation from her husband and the loss of her aunt, Spears was photographed shaving her head in public and clashing with the paparazzi. These pictures made front-page news and became fodder for widespread ridicule. Due to her fragile state, Spears was placed under a conservatorship, partly overseen by her father.
Britney's father, Jamie Spears, stepped in to take drastic action, placing her under a conservatorship. The strict legal order meant he controlled everything: her money, who she talked to, and even what she ate.
It seemed unlikely that the Princess of Pop could recover from such a scandal, but she defied the odds. Spears made a resounding comeback with 2008's Circus, which revived her career. Although she remained under the conservatorship for years, she publicly fought against it and eventually broke free in 2021. Before we unveil our final pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Demi Lovato survived a near-fatal drug overdose and worked her way to sobriety.
None of my friends knew what I was using, so I kept it very hidden from everyone. That is one thing that I was very good at.
Winona Ryder. The infamous shoplifting incident jeopardized her career, but she managed to rebound.
It's been incredible. It's been an amazing, overwhelming, humbling.
Drew Barrymore overcame an apparent family curse of drug-related problems.
I am so absolutely in awe of every day and aware of how wonderful this world is, and to appreciate it and to protect it.
Eminem. After nearly dying in an overdose, this rapper sought help and came out better.
I had to admit that I had a problem. I had to, I think I had to be ready for myself. Like, I had to be ready for me. I know that it's, I don't mean to make it sound cliche, but you have to do it for yourself. You can't do it for other people.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Robert Downey Jr. He is one of Hollywood's most inspiring tales of redemption and resilience. Earlier in his career, Robert Downey Jr. enjoyed a string of success, even garnering an Oscar nomination for 1992's Chaplin.
Yeah, I really like you too, Mac. And I bet you've been talking to New York. Let me direct the next one.
What makes you think you can do it?
Couldn't do any worse.
However, beginning in the mid-90s, the actor dealt with substance use disorder, which led to multiple arrests and rehab stints, tarnishing his public image in the process. At one point, Downey was passed over for roles as he was uninsurable.
I was surprised to admit that when I was, locked down in a California correctional facility, I said, wow, this is really not panning out for me.
In 2003, he committed to sobriety with the help of his family, therapy, and meditation. His perseverance paid off when he was cast in Iron Man, a blockbuster hit which revitalized his career.
I know that it's confusing. It is one thing to question the official story and another thing entirely to make wild accusations or insinuate that I'm a superhero.
I never said you were a superhero.
Didn't? Well, good, because that would be outlandish. And
in 2024, after decades in the industry, Downey finally won an Academy Award for a supporting role in Oppenheimer. What other celebrities in decline would you love to see build themselves back into the spotlight? Let us know in the comments below.
It's really only in like the last decade. Up to then, I was mostly trying to avoid it because I didn't want these kind of like Lindsay Lohan figured parents in my life on page 6,